Good morning, everyone. My name is Sarah Thomas, and I'll be your moderator for this concurrent session. One of my roles at BC Renal is to support the Provincial Palliative Care Committee. Our group felt it was very timely and imperative to discuss moral distress as a topic at BC Kidney Days, knowing that the current pandemic has created unprecedented challenges for our renal healthcare professionals. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Bashir Jiwani, who will be addressing resiliency and moral distress and how we can keep it together when the pandemic pulls us apart.
Thank you very much for that, Sarah. And I'm delighted to get to be with you all today and spend a few minutes talking about this really important topic. But I'd like to start by exploring the idea of stories and how we experience the world. So the question I have for you is, how do you experience the world? We tend to think of ourselves, and we are reasoning creatures, thinking creatures, and sometimes we get preoccupied with what's going on in our minds. But I actually want to suggest that we first experience the world viscerally, in a bodily kind of way. And it's only after that that we start to make meaning of our experiences and clothe them in words. We start to tell stories about what our lives are, what's happening in our lives. And a way I found useful to kind of illustrate this is to think about, well, painful experiences, frankly. Think about the last time you went to the doctor because you were really hurting. And so the story that comes to my mind is when I had a really bad stomachache. And I'm blessed because my wife is a family physician, and so the doctor I went to was her. And I was hurting, and she wanted to help. And so I was, curled up and had my hand on my stomach, and I was, oh, this is awful. And so she wanted to help. So she came and asked me questions. She said, tell me, where is the pain? And how bad is it? Scale of 0 to 10. Is it a 5? What number would you give it? And how would you describe it? Is it acute pain? Is it like a dull ache? What kind of pain is it? And she's asking me, she's talking to me, she's giving me throwing these words at me, and I'm just experiencing pain. And I'm like, I don't know, can't you just do something? And so then I realized, of course, that, well, no, in order for me to get better, I need her help. So I need to answer her questions so she can actually help me deal with this experience, this painful experience I'm having. So I say, okay, well, the pain's here and here. No, it's over here. Yeah, no, I think it's only a 5. Oh, no, it's definitely an 8. And it kind of feels like, I don't know, it's sharp. And I'm starting now to put words to this experience I'm having of discomfort as it happens. And so this illustrates, I hope, the fact that, we start to rationalize the experience after we actually go through the experience. So what I'm proposing is that we are all composing the story, the written or the in-language story of our lives after the process of actually going through those lives. And if you accept what I'm saying, well, there's some interesting things that are worthwhile observing. First, we don't always know what our stories are. I'm feeling this stuff, but I don't yet know what the words are I want to add, attach, use to describe that experience. I don't always get it right. I start by saying one thing and then I say, no, the meaning of the words I'm using to describe the experience don't seem to actually capture the essence of that experience. I need to change those words. My story is actually changing over time. Others have influence on our stories, particularly when we're young. When I was young, I was told this is what a good boy does. This is what life is all about. And I started to shape the meaning of my life in words based on what others told me was happening to me. And then slowly, as I got older, I was able to start to define for myself what my experiences actually meant for me. But they're still shaped, influenced by other people. When I go to the doctor and the doctor tells me that this is what's going on for you, he's actually or she's actually helping me to make meaning of my story, but the way she or he frames it is actually going to guide the way I understand it myself. And I may decide that's actually the wrong understanding, that's actually not the meaning that's going on in my life. one of the most important things about our stories is the power they contain to shape who we become, to influence the choices that we make. You might be wondering about these pictures on the screen. They remind me of a story, a funny story that I've become more fond of lately. It's about this koala bear who's in a forest and diligently climbs up this tree, goes to the highest branch, puts his arms out, and jumps off. And splat, lands tragically on the forest floor, but jumps back up, climbs that tree again, goes to the branch, jumps off again, splat, falls again, and continues to repeat this cycle. It's heartbreaking to watch. These two birds are watching this with love and pain, and they're saying, one of them says to the other, honey, you know, we really need to tell him he's adopted. Because obviously the koala thinks he's a bird. And so of course I'm anthropomorphizing here, but the story is meant to point out that what we understand ourselves to be can guide what we actually do in our lives. So the stories we tell about our lives, psychologists will tell us, are really important to our sense of well-being, our happiness, our ability to cope with suffering. They kind of bring they're the way that we bring kind of a unity, an integration to our experiences, and how different experiences connect one to the other, and how who we are is kind of integrated, knitted together through the various experiences that we have. They help us with suffering because they help us understand why certain experiences are worthwhile going through and why others are not, and we should actually not do it. I know that I need to work hard every day because the pain that comes from working hard is not easy. It's working hard, but it's important because it gives us something. And that makes that working hard a worthwhile thing, an activity to participate in. So it helps us to deal with suffering.